The family of the 8-year-old who was murdered in Jamaica is upset at the funeral arrangements. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The funeral service for Danielle Rowe, the 8-year-old girl who was abducted earlier this year and later found with her throat slashed, was held on Sunday but was marred with high drama as some family members walked out of the function claiming that they were not pleased with the number of issues. The concerned relatives said that they were disappointed and felt they were undermined and not given the opportunity to participate in the service at the same level as some government officials. The Jamaican flag that was placed over the casket of the child was said to also be another reason behind the chaos. According to a police source, the Jamaican flag was struck with a knife and contained red paint suggestive of blood splatter. The family said that they were upset as they said the program was not geared to the family members and some of them walked out of the service. Meanwhile, the People's National Party candidate for Southeast St. Catherine, Dr. Alfred Dawes, has called for the police high command to review the security apparatus in Portmore in St. Catherine. Speaking yesterday at a tribute service for slain councillor for the Southborough Division, Ainsley Parkins, Dr. Dawes argued that Portmore needs a bigger security footprint due to its size and the serious crimes being committed in the municipality. He said that Portmore have no police division and the officers are not equipped, whether financially with the resources or the manpower that they need, he complained. And that is why Portmore keeps popping up negatively in the news, whether it's a truck, an armored vehicle being assaulted in broad daylight, whether it's a student being abducted and brutally murdered, or an elected representative being assassinated in broad daylight. We have to do better, the PNP candidate argued. Dr. Dawes also added that more CCTV cameras should be installed in Portmore and other troubled communities. People's National Party President Mark Golding has echoed a call for close protection officers to be assigned to councillors following the murder of Ainsley Parkins in Southborough St. Catherine last week. Mr. Golding said a risk assessment should be conducted in the divisions to determine whether there is a security concern. Mr. Golding was speaking at the tribute service for Mr. Parkins at the Portmore Municipality Corporation yesterday morning. Councillor Parkins was on July 20 shot inside his vehicle in the Southborough Division, which he represented. Minister of Education and Youth Favour Williams is imploring Jamaicans to move beyond anger, outrage, frustration and fear and to take action to stamp out crime in the country. We cannot allow ourselves to be petrified by fear, otherwise the criminals will succeed in their desire to intimidate the rest of us, she pointed out. She said that the government and the police have certain responsibilities to protect citizens, but noted that too often individuals have allowed themselves to be overcome by the kind of fear that leads to inaction. Minister Williams was addressing the Thanksgiving service for the life of 8-year-old Danielle Rowe at the Portmore Seventh-day Adventist Church in St. Catherine on Sunday. Danielle was abducted from school and her throat slashed on June 7 and died in hospital 2 days later while undergoing treatment for injuries that she sustained. 2 women were robbed and raped at a bar in Kingsland in Manchester on Sunday morning. The Manchester police said that 2 men entered the bar about 2 o'clock and held up the bartender and another woman. The men then sexually assaulted the women before leaving with more than $65,000. They also stole 3 poker machines. The Hanover police have charged a suspect in connection with the fatal shooting of 43-year-old security guard Dwayne Barnes of Bakerstead in St. James and the wounding of another man along the Shuttlewood Main Road on July 6. Steve McDonald of Chester Castle in the parish is charged with murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition and wounding with intent. And it's alleged that McDonald was among a group of men who shot up a Nissan AD wagon about midday on July 6. Mr. Barnes, who was a passenger, was killed and another man wounded. And following investigations, McDonald was arrested and subsequently charged. Meanwhile, a woman was found murdered in St. Anne on Sunday. Her body was found along the Londonderry Main Road with a pillow tied with a piece of cord over her face, and the body has not yet been identified. Police believe that the woman was murdered elsewhere and her body brought to that area. On to sports. Women's World Cup. Aire Borgs, playing in her first World Cup, scored a hat-trick as Brazil made a flying start at the Women's World Cup yesterday by beating Panama 4-0. She struck twice in the first half and completed her treble in the 70th minute. Panama made its debut at the tournament, could do little to keep the 2007 runners-up at bay, with Borgs ruthless in front of goal. Brazil's legend Marta, she came on in the second half to mark her 6th World Cup. The 37-year-old forward is the competition's all-time leading scorer with 17 goals. And Brazil plays France in Brisbane on Saturday. In other games, Switzerland and Norway played to a 0-0 draw, but the shock was the Philippines. They scored and held on to win against New Zealand. And of course, they were playing in their first World Cup. The results blew Group A wide open, and all four teams are still able to advance after Norway were held to a goalless draw by Switzerland in the day's late kickoff. Switzerland now have 4 points, with the Philippines and Norway on 3 points each. Jamaica's next game is on Saturday when they clash with Panama. That's going to be a very interesting game. And if you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News. Listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports on your favorite community radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.